Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about the Code of Conduct. Very important and serious business. So first I want to talk to you about our commitment to creating a safe and professional environment. This is one of the most important parts of creating a remarkable care workplace. It's an important part of our Code of Conduct. So Allumé is committed to providing a safe and professional environment for all employees and clients. So this really requires each of us to act appropriately whenever we're in the office, in a client home, or at other locations where you are representing Allumé. We love to have a friendly environment. We want each other to feel connected. We want to have camaraderie, and we like to have fun. And we need to be professional. It's very important that we always maintain a professional level of decorum with all the people that we interact with. And it doesn't matter where you are. So even if you have friendships with people outside who are Allumé employees outside, we expect you to take on the code of conduct in your relationships with them. So act appropriately at all times. Employees should ask any person whose behavior threatens their comfort to stop such behavior. So if you should come into a situation where you don't feel someone is treating you with respect, and that they are being unprofessional, or you feel unsafe, then you need to take action. And one of the first things you can do is to state to the person that their behavior is not right, and to stop such behavior. If for some reason you feel, and I can understand how in certain situations where it would be the case, where you can't do that or you don't feel comfortable, then you should go to your supervisor. And so that's the important step. It's very important that you don't let it fester. You go to a supervisor, unless you have the ability to communicate directly, which is a very, very, very good thing if you can do that. That's very professional adult behavior if you can do that and it feels safe for you. If the situation involves a client, where someone, a client is doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable or is inappropriate, then you should contact your manager. The clinical supervisor or the general manager should address the situation directly with the client and family. So if you're out in the field, this is not something for you to deal with alone, and it needs to go not just to a case manager, but to a clinical supervisor or the general manager. Very important. We don't want our case managers to have to deal with these kinds of issues. So if you hear that something is happening inappropriately, bring it directly to the clinical supervisor or general manager or administrator to address. If the behavior involves one or more employees, the clinical supervisor or general manager should consult with human resource manager and then address those situations directly with the employees. So those are some of the important policies and our code of conduct. So in general, employees are expected to behave in a mature and responsible way. So respect the rights and dignity of others, both those that you work with as well as anybody else you might interact with while you're wearing your Allumé hat. It also means that does not permit language or any action that could hurt or frighten another person or that could affect business operations. So we want to, again, professional, safe environment. So in our code of conduct, there are a couple of specifically written behaviors that could lead to disciplinary action or termination. These are things that are not allowed, not surprising, under our code of conduct. So theft or behaviors that result in the destruction of property is not allowed. Carrying any kind of weapon, concealed weapon, devices, or objects that may be used as a weapon into the Allumé facility, into a patient's home, not allowed. Into an event that Allumé is sponsoring, not allowed. Using or possessing illegal chemicals or alcohol is not allowed. Release of confidential information. Business, Allumé, confidential information. There's lots of things that are confidential. Your patient information is confidential. Information about Allumé and our practices and policies, confidential. Your personal compensation package, what you're paid, what you're given as compensation, confidential. So this is unacceptable, part of our code of conduct. Release of confidential information is not allowed. Falsifying documents, any kind of documents, not allowed, whether it's a clinical document or something on an HR document or timesheets, it's not allowed. Excessive tardiness or absenteeism is part of our code of conduct, not allowed. Inappropriate attire or grooming. Use of Allumé equipment, facilities, data, or property for personal gain is not allowed. Unsafe or inappropriate use of equipment or property, not allowed. Not surprising. Harassment also is part of what's under our code of conduct. Violations of the harassment policy, including but not limiting to angry or vulgar language, including swearing, name calling, or shouting, is not allowed. Physical contact with another person. So any vulgar language, including swearing, name calling, or shouting towards another person, could be considered harassment. Please don't do that. Physical contact with another person in an angry or threatening way is totally not a good thing, not allowed. And in general, physical contact should be very limited, right? You might pat somebody on the back, but keep physical contact to a minimum. Of course, you're dealing with patients, and that kind of contact is certainly going to happen, but we need to make sure that it is safe and gentle. Any demonstration of sexual activity or sexual conduct with another person is not allowed. If you have somebody who's working with you and it's just not allowed. Harassment or intimidation by words, gestures, body language, or any other menacing behavior. Okay, so our code of conduct is really about remarkable care. It's about our dedication to remarkable care, following policies and procedures as part of it, assuring your colleagues feel supported and respected as part of it, and doing your best always, part of it. So thank you for listening to this presentation on our code of conduct, and I do hope that it supports you in the field. And in the meantime, go make the world a better place.